Hello.
Hello.
Hello and welcome. So, quick hacking reminder. As you can see, PK has drawn a lovely Happy Holidays piece of art that's going to get judged today. Judged on today's critique stream. Um, so, PK is currently the only person entered in our holiday giveaway thing, which will include a whole bunch of prizes that are on the Discord. So if you don't want if you want PK to have all 7 copies of various of our books and all of this original art, then make sure not to enter before December 15th, okay? If you want to oust her and get your chance at all of these lovely raffle things, draw some cute heckin' fan art, stick it up there, and you're good, fam. Also, we have our Secret Santa that I think has like 20 or so people signed up for it. And if you want to be part of that, you have to sign up by the end of Monday. So heck and get on that heck so you can trade art with a bunch of other cutie friends. And the final announcement thing is we're doing a critique stream. And if you've never been here before and you're like, what the heck am I doing here? How do I get my art critiqued? The answer is you sign up on our Patreon. These are all our patrons, $8 and up kind of patrons. They get to submit up to 3 pieces every month that they support us, and it's a heckin' great old time. So right now, Ursula is going to judge everything because there's no writing, which means I get to sit here and try and figure out our holiday plans.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, I'm going to open up you guys so that I can actually see what you all are saying.
Okay, cool.
Housekeeping is done.
Okay, okay, I don't know if you mentioned this. My mind has suddenly gone blank. So everyone, each of your pieces will get 7 minutes
Yeah, I think
on the
so.
clock to get critique. But of course, if you have any questions, we'll give you some time afterwards so that we can clarify anything or
Elaborate.
elaborate, etc. Or, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Ace of Pan because I saw that you are here, and I don't know if Krell is here yet or Clearjoy. I saw that Hex and Battery are here, so I'm gonna start with Ace, and then we'll move our way leftward.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
I was gonna open up the chat, so I'm like available to you.
See
I'm mostly
things.
gonna secretly write my nano.
You're gonna write on the critique stream?
I mean, I'll pay attention a bit.
Dude.
I promised in my last video I would be much more attentive. I'm just here for moral support. Like, I'm not an artist. I can't tell you guys what to do.
Oh, okay, so Krell is here. You're okay to go last? Okay.
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 How do I
okay.
find you guys? Okay, live events.
Fatal is super sneezy.
All of our pets are sick.
They all have kennel cough.
Oh, I started a new stream. Whoops.
Don't start a new stream.
Just,
my friend.
Can't I just do what makes me happy?
My friendly boy Bones.
I am not a friendly boy. I'm dangerous.
My angry boy Bones. Oh, hello, Nice. You're also here. Okay.
Hello, Nice.
Is PK here?
PK.
Because if that's the case, then I think... Wait, no. Is Clear here? Is Clearjoy here? And PK? Because then if so,
Clearjoy,
then everyone's
who?
here. Okay. So
Didn't
I will...
like my joke.
Yeah, I heard.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I will go in order from right to left, and then if someone isn't here, then I'll do theirs last, I guess.
I guess so.
We Twitch in after?
No,
No,
we're not.
I'm sorry. There'll be no
Twitching.
after party.
Yeah, there's no after party on the critique stream. Oh,
What?
speaking of, next week we're doing a beta stream, an alpha stream. We're gonna test out a commission stream because Ursula doesn't do commissions because she's kind of a poopy loser.
How dare you? But you're not wrong.
we're not wrong. Ursula takes forever to do commissions. However, it's going to be on stream commissions, and we're gonna try and do that, and it's gonna be through Streamlab donations and super chats. And for each dollar you donate, she will spend a minute on your artwork.
And if you're
That's the concept.
yeah, that's the concept. If you're a patron, you get 2 minutes per dollar.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
there you go. So yeah, next Saturday, check that out. Woo! We're gonna see how it goes. If it doesn't work and no one wants to buy a commission, then Bones is just gonna commission me to draw things for him and
I'm
pay
gonna
me with
pay
cookies.
her cookies. Yeah, I'm gonna make chocolate chip cookies. So she's like, please don't pay me.
Please.
Yeah.
Just give me
We'll
those
do the
cookies.
conversion from wait, CAD or USD. I think we'll do USD because it's the most like obvious one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll just convert because you guys can give us all your crazy currencies, and we'll round up.
Yeah.
So you sassy boys can be like, I'm gonna pay you $4.99 USD, and I'm like, fine, it's $5. You little cheapskates.
Stealing those pennies. When will that be? So that'll be next Saturday, so the 30th of November, and it'll be at like 2:00 EST.
And if that goes well, we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just testing it out.
It's gonna be a little beta test.
Woo.
It will.
Okay.
Okay, now the critique stream begins.
Okay, so
Okay, it's
Pan.
like $230 up front for the hotel.
sorry, how much money?
$230 up front, and then it's like $460
Okay.
total,
Could do that.
plus probably a $25 dog fee.
Right. Sorry, we're figuring out where we're staying for Christmas visiting family.
Yeah.
We're bringing all our dogs to a little cabin.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's our current plan.
And hopefully we don't get eaten by the magpie.
Exactly.
Because we discovered that there's a pine wood near where we're going to be.
There's a pinewood everywhere.
That's true. Pinewood is a very common name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Now we can begin.
Now we can begin. So Ace of Pan, I saw you around here somewhere. Let's start with this first one. Okay. 7 minutes on the clock. I got this. Okay. So this first one is a couple of characters I made for fun. They're Sea Monster Boy and a Harpy Guy. I'd like some feedback on the poses, designs, as well as line art, anything else you would think would be good to point out. Okay. Sea Monster Boy and Sea Monster Boy and Harpy Guy. Okay. Okay. I like that the sea monster is wearing a little sailor outfit. I think that's really cute. 10 out of 10. Poses and designs. Okay. So, I think you've got your good shape language going through these guys. Because, like, with the harpy, you've got, like, really tall, lanky shapes. You've also got, like, a diamond-y shape going throughout. Like, you can see it most in the... Sorry, I'm just grabbing a red line. Like, you can see it here. There's, like, this triangle or a diamond-y shape. It's kind of present in the wings, as well as, like, his mask and stuff. And just, like, little triangle pointy shapes throughout. I think you could push it more a little bit, if that's something you want to do. Where... like, the color scheme is very cohesive. Like, you've got a good balance between, like, the dark feathers and then the light clothing and the kind of orangey red for, like, his skin and his legs. Like, the colors are very well balanced, which is something you do really well in a lot of your stuff. But I think you could push the shapes throughout his design a bit more. Especially, like, I find his clothing here doesn't really... match shape-wise with what he's got going on with his mask. And I think you could bring more of, like, the mask elements throughout the rest of his outfit. Like with this purple stone and the red feathers and stuff. As for the sea monster guy, I like the squat roundness of him. It's very cute. And I like the line work throughout. Like, I like how he's got, like, the striped shorts and then stripes going down through the, like, the sailor hood thing, whatever you call that, the cape part. And then it's also mirrored in like the little tail things that are coming down, as well as like the lines in his bangs. I think that's really strong. And it pairs really nicely with the like the roundness elsewhere, like the roundness of his hair and of his bow, and of his limbs and shirt sleeves and stuff. So I think the shapes are a little bit stronger with the sea monster than they are with the harpy. There's a little bit of a contrast issue right here. Oh, come on, red line. You can do it. Oh, will.
Ursula's so powerful.
Oh, thank you.
Clap, clap for Ursula. And stop dropping things on your cats. Your poor dang cats.
So there's a bit of a contrast issue here. Within the characters, I don't find any contrast issues. Like, you can tell all the different pieces apart for each character. But I think just having, like, the dark tail overlapping with the dark wing, it's getting a bit muddled over here. Whereas, like, everything else with the monster, the sea monster, like, pops because he's got, like, the brighter colors against the wing. That's, like, a little minor nitpick. As for their poses, I get a sense of, like, stoicness from the harpy. He seems very, like, subdued. It could be partially, like, his facial expression. But also just the way he's posed. He feels just very, like, chill and kind of muted, I guess. Whereas the sea monster seems a lot more, like, energetic and silly. And I think that's also partly due to their, like, his cutesy outfit. So yeah. So I think their poses, like, speak well to who they are, provided that my assumptions are correct. You can correct me if I am wrong. So feedback on poses, designs, as well as line art. So looking at the line art, I think
What do you think?
I honestly, like, I really like your line art. It's very strong. I think I mentioned in the last critique we had, but I think you might want to experiment with being very deliberate about where you add line weight. So, for example, like the heart, like throughout most of this piece, it seems like the lines are very, they're all the same weight, more or less. Like, some of them are a lot thinner, like the details on the clothing, for example, which makes sense because they're not as important and therefore you use smaller lines, which I really like. But I find particularly, like, here on his leg here, you've gone for a very, like, weighted, heavy line, whereas it's not really present elsewhere, as far as I can see. Maybe a little bit, like, within some parts of the sea monsters lines. Like, it doesn't feel super purposeful to me. Where I think you could really play with using weight to show shadow or to show something being closer to the, like, quote unquote camera, whereas things farther away can get thinner lines. And just being very mindful of, like, what you add a really heavy line to. Oh, time's up. But yeah, just being very mindful of, like, what you add heavy lines to and what you add thin lines to, because it can imply importance, it can imply weight, it can imply distance and position and perspective. But yeah, so it's because your line work is very strong, and I like the way you create forms with your lines. But yeah, that's just one thing to be mindful of. I tried a bit harder with the line weight in the next two. Okay. It's a very nitpicky thing, so don't worry about it.
It's time for us to mention that everything is nitpicked because you're all beautiful.
You're all good at art, okay? Heck. Okay. Okay, so I set the timer for the next one.
Wooga.
Woo! Okay, timer set. So, next up is my comic's protagonist. After a lot of reworking, I think this is my final design for him, at least close to it. I'd like feedback on the design, line art, shading, expression, anything else you can think of. What kind of personality do you read from him? Okay, I won't read what he's supposed to be. So he looks very cute and very like he looks like he'd be like a mom friend. Like he's there to like pep you up, and like if you're sick, he'll come bring you soup. Like he feels that way. Like he feels very like
The anti-bones friend.
yeah. So like yeah, he just gets this very like soft vibe, very like I think it's the shapes that he's made of that make me think of like I guess like a teddy bear or something, like a character who's very like protective and will give you hugs.
Yeah, it's probably the Ursa ring thing you're getting from it.
Oh heck. Oh no.
It is, isn't it?
Oh no.
Sorry.
But yeah, and then his expression, he feels very like emotional. He looks very like empathetic. Like the expression here, it looks like he's very concerned. Which just gives me this vibe of being like a very like emotional.
He looks like he's
person.
from a cyber fantasy.
Yeah, totally. Like
Treasure Planet.
yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Where it feels fantasy but also
But a little more anime.
yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Hell yeah. I like that.
Just figured my impressions would be valid too.
Exactly. Okay. So he's meant to be a very soft baby, super naive and optimistic to a fault. Okay, I can see that. His little like full body version looks a lot more optimistic than his close-up expression. His close-up expression looks like he's really concerned.
Ooh woo.
Ooh boo.
Sorry. Ooh. Omo.
Omo.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So as for his design, the shapes are very cohesive. You've got good repetition of like circles and very curvy, soft shapes. Like I like the way his hood mimics his little puff of hair. That's really cute, and goes really well. I like the circle motif that's both in his sleeves and then on his shirt. And he's got like a really solid like figure. Like it's a really striking silhouette. I just wanted the expression to be different on the bust. That's fair. Yeah, because it's good to show like a range of emotion for the character. So I get you. But he's got a very strong silhouette, especially with like the triangle like shape for the body and then the really like round sleeves. And I think that's really great. One thing. Okay, sorry. Let me collect myself here. So color-wise, he feels very cohesive. Like he's got like the yellow throughout as well as the blue. But one thing to keep in mind is when creating a character, you want to make sure that if they were like separated into quadrants, they'd all look like they're from the same character. So I think color-wise, no matter how he's like bisected or whatever, no matter how way you slice him, the colors tell you that it's all the same character. One thing I'd watch out for is his bottom half doesn't exactly match the top half. You might need to bring in maybe more of the circle motif, whether it's like the shaping of his boots / socks. However way you want to do that. But just something to keep in mind. Like I feel like the pants and the boots are a little plain compared to more of the intricacy at the top.
Don't worry about it. My computer's just yelling at us.
I could add buttons to his boots. Yeah, that would work. Just bringing in that circle motif or maybe like the fluffy like cloud motif from his hair. Whatever you think would work. And play around with it. You can get some really cute results. But overall, I think it's a really strong design. It looks really simple. Like you'd be able to recreate it a lot for a comic, which is great for a comic protagonist. Being able to like draw it really quickly. And being able to replicate it over and over again and have him look on model. I think you'd be able to do that really easily because he's got really strong shapes.
Strong.
As for the line art, it definitely feels a lot more purposeful in the weight. Like I noticed there's like heavier shadows like under the jaw, as well as like around the hair puff to show that it's like not, it's sitting on top of the rest of his hair. Whereas there's thinner lines for details and such, like the little folds on the scarf / hood. So yeah, it feels a lot more purposeful what you've done with the line work. I also like how on the full body, all of the lines feel very like the same weight, whereas when it's more detailed, you get a bit more variance in the line weight. I think that's a really cool effect, just to show like the difference in detail depending on how close you are. The shading. I think you've got your base colors down. Because like looking at like I've said this a million times throughout this design, but like the colors are really strong. You've got good contrast between all of them on the base. I find once you've added the shadows, things feel a bit they blend together a little bit more. And I think it's just because adding the shadows has kind of brought some of the hues, some of the colors like closer together in value. So for example, the difference between like his skin and the hood is less defined because they're a bit closer in value, whereas in the just the base colors, there's a strong contrast between his skin and the hood. So that's just something to always be aware of when you're adding shadows or highlights, to make sure that you still have that high contrast with other elements. But the shading style itself, it looks really cute. Yeah, I think it's just a contrast issue. I think the shading itself is very cute and should be easy to work with within a comic. So yeah. Let me know if you have any comments or questions about that one.
Look at this sassy person.
Look at this boy. Oh no, come on, computer. You can do it. Sorry, I'm gonna have a drink of tea.
Sip, sip. Gotta keep her throat liquidated. Wait. Liquidate the throat. It's Black Friday, boys.
Please don't liquidate my throat.
Such a cool character. Pierce. I like the name. He looks like a Pierce.
He does. He's really cute. They're all cute.
Ace of Pan is cute.
Heck yeah. Okay, so my first thought... Oh, shoot. Sorry, I gotta set the timer.
I'm beautiful. Just wanted to say I would be really cute if I was drawn as a character.
Maybe that's a prompt for the giveaway. Draw Bones as a cute anime.
I'd love to see you design me with my little cat shirt and my reindeer onesie.
Yeah.
That's an outfit right there.
Hell yeah.
That is a bisection that you can do on a character, and every bit will look exactly like it belongs. My little reindeer head and my reindeer feet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What I'm saying is I'm a character.
We gotta give you little cat shoes.
Oh, to bring in like the cat.
Yeah, on the
thing.
bottom half.
I guess so. That's true.
Could also just be black shoes to go along with
Black
the black
deer.
sweater. Black deer. Okay.
I'm a range deer. I have lots of range.
You walking all over the place.
I meant like stylistic range. It can be a rage deer if you want.
Oh no. Just breaking everything in the house with your
Yeah.
antlers. Okay.
Getting stuck in the walls. I'm sorry, I'll stop. You
Okay.
guys can continue doing your things.
Okay, now I'll actually start the timer. So one thing I like is I feel like they're from the same universe. Because I've read in your thing that it's the antagonist and protagonist of the comic, but I guess it's like the style of clothing. It feels the same. Like it's still that like future fantasy look.
Mm-hmm.
And the really strong like calls to shapes within their clothing makes them feel like they're from the same universe or society or whatever, which is really cool. Sorry, I should read this blurb. My comic's antagonist, also the romantic interest. I'd like critique on the same points as the previous character. Okay, so before I read on, I will say what I think he is like.
He's a total Matt, from like Digimon. Or I guess what's the Pokemon version of that?
Gary?
He's like Gary.
Gary.
Gary. He's the blue team leader.
Yes. See, to me, he reads more like a Draco character, like a really snooty guy.
I guess so.
Like, I guess Gary's kind of snooty in Pokemon.
Kind of.
Okay, very. Where Matt's more like cool and aloof, Whereas I feel like Pierce is not cool and aloof. I feel like he's trying too hard.
I guess so. He also reminds me of the alien boy from Tokyo Mew Mew. The one with the really low shorts. Where you can see the little bits.
The little lines.
Yeah, those lines. Oh, I guess you can see
Yeah,
those
you can
lines.
see those lines.
Yeah, he's gonna kiss a cat girl.
Oh my god.
Okay, go back to your thing.
Okay. But yeah, so I get this impression like he definitely like says antagonist. He reminds me kind of like Team Rocket vibes, like
What's beeping?
fashionable and cool, but also a huge dork. That's like what I read from him. I think part of it is like his hair and his clothing. They seem like impractical, if that makes sense. Like they don't seem comfortable. They seem very just like fashiony, just for the sake of like showing off. Because I feel like you'd have to do a lot of work to get your hair to stand up like that, and also your tummy would be cold. Woo. But yeah, that's just what I get from him. I think a lot of that is due to his shape language, which again I think you did really, really strong. Where he's got the through line of the triangles. I love his boots. They're so cute. But again, he has a very striking silhouette. Where I feel like it's very defined by like the points in his hair, the points from his boots, the points of his collar, where it feels very like he feels very different than the protagonist, while still feeling like he's in the same universe, which is really great, because you'll be able to tell that they're very different at a glance, which is really great in visual mediums. I think here, just looking between them. Sorry, my computer's freaking out.
Same.
I feel like it might help if he has like more accessories and stuff, because obviously he'll probably have like things he's interacting with within the comic. But I feel like his arms need something, because like his I don't know how to describe it. Do you feel me, Bones?
Yeah.
Where like because he's got the strong like points to his like shoulder area and
Does
his
he have
legs.
red nails like his little hair? That'd be so cool.
Oh my god, that'd be so cute. But I feel like he needs like gloves or wristbands or something like that. He doesn't necessarily need sleeves if you don't want to add that in.
Yeah, like I like him being a bit naked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean, because you've kind of got this like I don't know, this dividing thing that happens throughout the design.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's very. He looks like just.
Yeah, I was initially gonna give him some gloves.
As big as the boots.
Yeah, tattoo maybe. Just something.
Just something. It's up to you. Whatever feels best for the character. But yeah, it just feels a little bare compared to the rest of his design. But yeah, I love his pointy little design. I like how it isn't even like happens with the little hip lines where it looks like a triangle. It's cute. It's really well done. Again, the colors look great. You've got really good contrast between all the different parts. And I find there's less of a contrast issue on his model here, like the close-up. Where I think it is just the pairing between like the really dark collar versus like the bright hair and the lighter skin. Where I think when you're dealing with maybe like when you're dealing with like the darker tones, like just be careful that you're not putting too much like dark on dark. Or just make sure you're maintaining like the value of each color that you've already chosen for all your characters. Because here it works really well, where like his the other parts really pop against the dark color. So yeah, so with your other when you're working on your comic, like just keep that in mind when you're adding this shading stuff, because it looks really nice, especially when you can tell the different parts apart from each other. Tell me what you think of Pierce and Miles' contrast enough in terms of design. Yeah, definitely. Their shapes really push them apart, where Miles is very like round and soft, where Pierce looks a lot more like pointy, and he looks mischievous. Yeah, he looks very mischievous, and he looks like he's on the villain team, whereas Miles looks a lot more like soft and friendly, and like he's a hero. But yeah, I really like what you've done with like the limited color palettes, where they kind of have like 3 main colors, or I guess it's 2 colors with just different like levels of value. But really well done. They really match together, but I can tell that they're on like different teams. But I just noticed this, that you have the blue within Miles as well as Pierce, where it's like you can kind of see like kind of like crossing over between them, implying like maybe they'll be friends later. I like it. It's well done. I think they work off each other really well.
He's your next victim.
Victim.
Victim
to
of
say
them.
nice things too.
It's like being attacked by a teddy bear.
Oh, I'm gonna get you. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions, Ace.
I just thought about the whole thing with Magpie, where like Chris has the teddy bear and is pretending that it's Dennis. I freaking love Chris. Reminds me of Tavros now, with like Rufio.
Except Chris is real. There's a real Chris.
Yeah, but Dennis, he has like a Dennis in his heart that like.
Sorry, I mean Dennis is real.
Yeah, he has like a Dennis in his heart that tells him things too.
Tells him to be confident.
Yeah.
Okay.
When Dennis is gone, Dennis still lives within his heart. Dennis, you can do it. Filthy Homestucks. Shh. Pap.
We've been binge reading it. We have a problem.
Yeah, I liked. Oh, there's a great. Ursula's like, I have a headcanon, and I'm like, what? She like texted me. And she was like, Bones, I have this Homestuck headcanon, and I'm like, what? Is it 2010?
It's like, shut up. What was it you said that made me like spit take?
Oh, it was. It was. I bet you're gonna. I bet you're gonna draw home. I bet you're gonna draw Homestuck fan art next. or something like
It
that.
was something like that.
Yeah.
It was well timed.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's us. Oh please.
Did I bring this back? Hell yeah.
See, I would draw fan art of things, but I don't have time to draw fan art.
Yeah, it's true.
I've got too many comics.
I'll find it in one of your freaking dirty little hidden sketchbooks.
Listen.
I find all sorts of little, like, I don't have time for fan art, draws like a million Fire Emblem things, and then all the stuff from your stupid little freaking novels about, like, shadow hunters and other BS.
A heal.
Oh, and, like, you're like, I hate that Six of Crows is gonna have a whole series now because the fan art's gonna change.
Listen, I don't like when things I like get adaptations. I'm sure it'll be fine, and I am happy for the creator for getting that. But I also don't
Not
like
gonna
it.
lie, when I went back on Ursula's Insta and saw the Effie Robin she drew and cried.
Aw,
Fire
so
Emblem
sweet.
good. Yes. She does all sorts of Fire Emblem stuff. I
And-
always see it.
I do secret little fan art.
She never posts it. I don't freaking know. Ursula is shy. Okay,
Hello.
okay. Next
Okay.
victim. Next victim.
Next victim.
We can
Okay.
go on forever.
Hexen, I'm coming for you.
Heck.
No, Hex. Stop.
I didn't mean to. It just I went to say something sassy and a little burp came out.
Okay.
Oh, there's a little sass.
There's a little snuggly
Ursula,
donut
focus.
between us. His name is Fado.
I'd die for Ursula's Fire Emblem art.
Aw. Okay. Okay, 7 minutes on the clock. First one is a drawing I did of Silas in my sketchbook. Also, I never remember to take retake a decent picture when it's daylight. Okay. Let's look at this boy. I really like, because I know in the past we've seen a lot of like sketches and stuff you've done. I don't know, we've seen like a few things where you've like colored it and lined it and stuff, but I find this one in particular feels really like strong
I'm strong.
and structured, whereas like I found in the past some of your stuff that's had very like more of your sketches and stuff, and admittedly they're sketches, so no big judgments here, but they felt a little more, I don't know what the word is,
Not structured.
not start no I don't know.
Wibbly. Wobbly.
Wibbly wobbly, I guess. Whereas like this feels very, and the thing is like you have very strong like shapes, like everything you draw feels very like structured and sturdy, whereas I feel like having inked it this way, it feels like it's like added onto that, and it's real nice and I like it, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I really like his legs here. Like again, everything feels like it has a very strong form to it. Like it doesn't feel flat. It feels like it has like a 3D structure underneath it, despite the fact that it's just like a black fill here. And I think it's because you have, these lines on the pants. I really like the lines on the shoes that really imply the structure of it. I find, if anything, his pose feels a little... No, I don't think it's the pose. I think there's some proportional issues, like his head and hands feel a little big compared to the rest of the body. But
she left off on a butt.
But yeah, but the form is really nice. The line work is really nice. I think there's just a little proportion issues here, which can be easily fixed in future drawings.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking. I like the flowiness of the hair here. That's a really nice little detail. Again, this line art is like, I'm digging it. It's really bringing a lot of like good stuff to your art here. And I'd love to see more of it from you because I think it really helps solidify your forms even more. Like, I love this little hair here. Like, I love the shape to it. I like the highlight at the edge, which masks the line here. Like, that's a really nice touch that makes it feel more 3D and less of like an outlined thing. Great, I hate doing line art, but it's so nice. It really brings your stuff together and makes it feel really strong. But yeah, and like I like the movement in the hair. Same with like the weight of the coat falling and stuff. It's a really good like little sketchy guy drawing guy. It's really good. I like it a lot. I hate it more digitally. I mostly do studies traditionally. It looks nice. I think you should do it more.
Oh no.
What?
Ursula says do it more.
Do it more. Do more line art.
Ursula, do more commentary.
Woo!
Do you need a hot chocolate?
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say no.
Okay. One might occur eventually.
Okay.
Eventually. Maybe. Possibly.
I like the outfit a lot. I think, I like the repetition of, like, the rectangular shapes with, like, the sleeves and the collar, as well as, like, the shape of the coat bit. I think the straight lines and things could be captured a bit more in the shoes, though I like the form you've done with the shoes, but maybe like bringing in more of that rectangular look and maybe bringing in some of the white from the shirt would also help really make the outfit feel more cohesive. If anything, if you were to draw him in this in the future. But yeah, overall, a really good piece. I really like it. The whole draw was based on a jacket/shirt combo I've seen. I adapted the jacket a little. Okay. I like it. It looks really nice. Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Oh no.
Okay.
Awooga.
So I have 45 seconds on the clock. Is there any questions or anything you wanted me to look at here? Ooh.
Just powering through.
All right. Okay. Cool. So I will move on to the next one.
Oh no.
So a sketchbook sheet of one of my newer characters, Vin, who are they, them. Oh, they're cute. Okay. So, let's see.
Let us see.
Okay, so it looks like... Oh, that's really cool. I like the repetition of the, I guess, like, bracket shape going on. Like, with the pigment change on the... I don't know what to call... I forget what that's called. Where there's, like, different pigments on skin.
Yeah.
Anyways. So I like the repetition of that, like, diamond bracket shape there, which is also present in their hair, which is a really good touch.
Vitiligo.
Okay.
Yeah. There's other reasons you can have pigment change, though, so
yeah.
I wouldn't assume.
True. But I also like how it's mirrored with the white in their hair, as well as like the different shade changes in their their hair as well. You've also got like good kind of triangle shapes going on throughout their design, like with their lips and their nose, and also within their costume designs. I love the dress; it's so cute. I love the little expression; they're so cute. But you've got that kind of diamond bracket shape going throughout it, like with this little like belly window here, and like within the silhouette of the dress, as well as the details of it, and in the shape of the feather earrings. I like it a lot. It's really good. Thanks, Vito. Non-binary and trans feminine. Okay. But yeah, I like the peacock colors and like motif going throughout like their outfits.
It's good. I like it. You're doing great, Ursula.
Thanks.
I kid.
Okay. Yeah, I think looking at the dress and the pants, you could maybe bring in the bracket shape a little bit more, possibly. Just to strengthen it up a little bit.
Even the patches and their eyes are kind of based on the white shapes and on peacock eyes. Not exactly, but roughly.
I can see it. It looks really cool.
It's a really cool design.
Yeah. I really like your character designs. They're always very like thoughtful and unique. You've always got really good shape language.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can definitely see it in like the eye shape. It feels like it's still that kind of diamond bracket shape, and the it reminds me of like a bird head kind of. As well as the repetition of like their piercings, I'm guessing, or more pigment. I'm not sure. Let's see. But I think with the dress, you could bring in the diamond shape a little bit more. But I think either by removing the curve of the dress, like making it something like that, or even just playing around with like maybe the sharpness of it. I'm not sure. You'd have to play around with it. But maybe just bringing in that shape a little bit more, because they've got such like a sharp figure, I guess. Like it's very apparent in this outfit where like they seem a lot more like kind of diamond shape. The black dots on their nose are piercings. Okay, I thought so. But maybe just exaggerating it a little bit more, even in like the more like even when they're going for like a softer look in the dress. Yeah, I think that's my only bit of feedback. Especially it'll help with like using, say, like the round but like the round feather pattern. It'll contrast really well with like the sharpness of the silhouette of the dress. I love the shoes on this outfit. It would be cool if it was brought in more with the high heels here, or just that like eye pattern. It looks really like very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. Hell yeah.
I find the one face is kind of flat as far as like the rendering goes.
Which one?
The big boy.
This one?
Yeah. Not referring to them as a boy. Just the art is all boys.
Yeah.
It's not of boys. Art itself is just boys all the way down.
Okay, I can see that. I think, yeah, there could be some more contrast in the rendering of it. So, for example, using like deeper colors for shadows and pushing the highlights more.
If they're okay with it, yeah, you can like ask them if they're okay with you saying things about it. But if people don't want other people critiquing, then
Yeah.
chill.
But yeah, just deepening the shadows, for example, to just kind of structure the shapes more can really help. Because you've got a good base. I think you just need to heighten the contrast. Again, I think you have the same I think you have the same issue that Ace of Pan was having, where like your individual like base colors have pretty good contrast between them, but I think you need to work on making sure that your shadows, when you add them, have good contrast as well. And I think to do that, you really need to push it really far until it feels like uncomfortable, and then rein it back. So yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll move on. Let me know if you have any questions. And another one. Person in green shirt is Val and belongs to my friend. Thus, I'm not responsible for any color choices. Okay. Okay. Oh, I should set the clock.
Set that clock.
Set it. Okay. Okay, I think. So I like the interaction between them. I think that's really cute. And I especially like, what's their name? Vin. Yeah, I like Vin's expression here. It's very cute and expressive. And I like how you're pushing the expressions. Yeah, there's good I really like Vin's like color design. There's really good contrast between the different like parts of them. Like I like is it a tattoo on their arm here versus like the color of their skin versus their hair, and I really like the white stripe going through their hair. Really adds contrast between like their hair and the rest of them, and it's very like stark and high contrast and hella rad. I think so. Looking at the kissy smoochy picture, I think so. Previously, I remember you submitted an image of more smooches, and there was a problem with the face that was in the back being too flat, and I think that's happening again. Whereas like this Vin's here in the front feels really well structured. Like especially like the like the skull shape. Like it feels very like structured. There's no like wonkiness there. Same with like the lips and the nose and etc. Like they all feel really structured on Vin, whereas I think they get a little wonky on the other character. And I think, because the thing is, like, here along the jaw, like, that feels great. Especially the lips, too. Like, they feel like they have a lot of volume to them. Like, they feel more 3D. Same with Vin's lips here. Where it's, like, it feels less of, like, the side mouth problem. I don't think you've had it in the past. I don't remember, but... a common problem is where like the mouth can feel very flat when turned into profile, and depending on how you draw it. But here they feel like the jaw and the lips feel like they have like volume to them, and you've turned them really well. But then his face kind of disconnects when it disappears behind Vin's. Sorry, my computer's bugging. Okay. So like here, like his nose should start to come out probably. But yeah, it just feels a little unstructured behind it. It makes his face feel a little too flat this way. And I think his eye is probably also a bit too close to the center of his face, where it should be moved over just like a smidgen. Same with Vin's. Because the eye doesn't go quite that close to the nose, because there's usually the eye sits behind where the bridge of the nose is in profile. But again, you don't have to go by exact proportion rules when you're doing stylization. But yeah, and I think honestly it could all be fixed by just making sure you draw in guiding lines of both characters when you're making them kiss, which is hard when you're doing it traditionally, because you can't turn down the opacity of another layer. You have to put them both in and make sure they're right, and then work on top, which can be difficult. But yeah, I wanted to fix Vin's eye on that, but I'm lazy. That's okay. It's just a sketch. But yeah. Because even between like this one here and this one, like they feel a lot more structured. Like their face feels more structured. Whereas here they feel like they've been squished horizontally a little bit, where I think you need more room for like their head to go back. But yeah, just little proportion things to keep in mind if that's what you would like. You don't have to. Yeah. I also think there's some contrast issues here, where I think even if you're using like colors from, say, like a friend, like a character whose color choices that aren't yours, whether it's like fan art or from a friend or something, you still need to be like mindful of pushing the values so that they don't blend together. And that can be like adding shadows and highlights carefully so that you don't have two of the same value like flush up against each other. It could be done by darkening line art. But I think you just need to be a bit mindful about like the contrast issues, where you need to heighten the contrast so that similar colors aren't blending together, like say in their hair here, if that makes sense. I think with kissing, it's really helpful to study how the face tilts. Yes, definitely. Which can be very difficult, because faces are especially hard because we have all these preconceptions about what a face looks like, and then we try to draw it and we're like, oh heck, I don't know how a face actually works, despite the fact we spend so much time staring at them all day. Heck. There's a reason that one didn't get flat colors. Oh, that's fair. Oh, it's time for our 3 o'clock snack. We're on like a little feeding schedule, so forgive our alarms. Really hard to do. Yeah. Faux show. But yeah, overall, very cute. I like this face here too. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I was focused over on this stuff here.
We're Alarm City.
Heck. But I really like the proportions here feel really nice and really cute. Like everything's placed really well and it feels really solid, like a lot of your stuff. So yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to drink more tea.
And that's time to move to the next victim. Who's going to get their little hiney on the chopping block?
We're chopping their hiney?
Yep.
Heck.
I'm sorry, that's just what we do here.
Okay. Battery. Are you still here? Battery. Hi, Fido. Our poor sick puppies. They all have kennel cough.
Cough, cough.
Cough, cough.
Oh, battery's here.
Hey, okay. So.
I gotta go chomp some nuts.
Okay. Okay. So, I will set a timer. I will work on these. Okay. Okay. General critique, anatomy, color, etc. It was just a Kajinka of a cat. Okay. You captured the colors really well. I think. Yeah, I do like how you've captured the lighting. Like the difference between like the red glow versus like the blue shadows. Because I know when doing something like this, it's very easy for it to be mistaken as like the hair actually being like two-toned instead of it just being like light reflecting off like the brown and white hair. So I think you did a really good job at showing that it's lighting rather than like the actual color of the character. I like the expression. It's very cute. I like how you made the three face work with like actual lips, and it actually feels like a mouth could do that. It's very cute. I like it a lot. I think
That Bones is the cutest boy.
he is really cute.
Keep my microphone away so I don't chomp in people's ears.
But yeah, color wise, it works really well. I think you could push the shadows on the face more, and add that kind of cool cool shadow as well as the warm glow to it. You've done it a little bit, but I think everything's just so pale on the face where you need to push that shadow more. So like, because right now, like I can tell that there's some shadow on it, like especially around the nose and lips and under the eyes. But I think you need to be more dramatic with it. Sorry, I'm trying to find the right layer. Ooh, woo. Yeah, we're like, I think you need to bring in some shadow here. Just to
You have a new boyfriend.
hi Lear. My cat is here. Just to really add to that effect. And you can keep like some glowiness on the eyes, etc. You know, just push it some more. Don't be afraid to put things in shadows or to mask things. Where I think you can get like, you can really heighten that contrast and make like an even more striking image visually. Because if you look at the actual like cat photo, like there's some really striking light differences. Especially like here on the face where like the nose is in shadow, but there's this like nice bright patch right on the other side of its nose where the light is hitting it. I think you need to not be afraid of throwing shadows on the face and obscuring that. I think there's also a little bit of a merger going on. Here with the butterfly wing, where it's because of the way this line here is positioned, as well as how it curves, the way that the change of direction on the wing lands on the same point as the hairline, and then follows the hairline up above. It looks as if it's merged in with the hair, especially because it's the brown wing is then on the brown hair. So that is something to be wary of, is to make sure that it doesn't look like your shapes are merging together, because it makes them look like they're connected even when they're not, and it creates a weird optical illusion. So I guess to fix it, you can just pull the shape back a little bit, something like that. And be wary that where the brown starts doesn't happen where the hair begins. I also really like, I really like this shape here that you did with the wing. I think if you just mimicked it here, that would really help with it, with getting rid of that merger. But yeah, I like how glowy you've made everything look. Like, it really looks like it's being hit with light. I like the hair texture. It's very detailed and very fun to look at, and it brings a lot of movement into the piece. But yeah, overall, it's really nice. I think you just need to push the push your use of lighting more, because I don't think it's a contrast issue. I think you've got pretty good contrast between everything, like between the hair and the skin and the butterfly. I think you really just need to study more lighting and apply it to your work in more like dramatic ways, if that makes sense. It took me like 2 to 3 hours, so I got distracted and left it at that. That's fair. Yeah. Do you have any comments or thoughts, Bones?
Right.
He says it's pretty. Which I agree, it's really pretty. Heck yeah.
Have you said anything about like anatomy and structure at all?
Oh yeah, no I haven't. I think there are a little structure problems. It's mostly right here where I find the structure of the jaw is really nice, but if you kind of redline it, it creates, it looks like there's just a bit of like an indent here over this eye. It makes it look kind of like the face is kind of like concave. Oops. Like this, instead of, I guess like it goes a little concave for the eye, but like, yeah. I think there's just some structure issues there where, and I think what would really help is making sure that you're drawing underneath and doing your underdrawing so that you can tell what's going on, even when there's something overlapping it. So it's the same problem as like the kissing faces. I struggle staying focused on things that take over an hour. That's fair. That's a mood. But you know what? If this was just like a study or like a little exercise to just draw something fun, you don't have to like finish it and make it exceptionally beautiful, because you can still learn things even if you don't finish everything you do. So don't worry about that. Ooh, woo.
Never worry.
Never worry. Stop worrying, all of you. So yeah. I need to run to the washroom before I start the next critique. Bones, I'm counting on you to entertain them.
Hello. Am I hearable? I don't know. I don't have my headphones on. I'm bad.
You're hearable.
What's everyone up to? I'm just here eating some mixed nuts because it's snack time. What's that about not being able to pay attention for more than an hour? What was that about? Is that about me? Hello, doll sugar. Poor Ursula, so good at art. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. Eating Pringles. Oh no, I just dropped almonds on my pants. I got my best friend, Lear here. He looks kind of sick. You are also sick. Oh no. He's got like a gooey eye. Probably has a cold too. Everyone's got a cold except the humans. I just can't focus on art once it's over an hour of work. That's fair. Um, yeah. We're going out tonight for the overnight write-in. We're not going to stay the whole time because we have to go to a Christmas thing. We're having Christmas on the 25th of November with my mom and her side of the family. And then I'm having Christmas, I guess, just alone at home with me and Ursula. And then we are going to see my my dad's side of the family, but probably not my dad. I don't think he's coming down. Oh, excuse me. We'll see my grandma and my aunt and my uncle, I suppose. Probably my cousins. I usually don't spend more than an hour or two on stuff either. Man, I write novels. There is way more than an hour spent on those boys. Yep. Fado is doing me a big ol' stare. Can you not do that, boy? You're weirding me out. Oh man, it's almost January, guys. You know what that means? Tax season. New tax year. Frick. Made way too much money. Which wouldn't be a problem if it was just like I got to keep most of the money. It's not even taxes. It's like I have to pay taxes on stuff for other people. Oh man, I don't understand taxes. I'm gonna talk to a tax person. Don't take tax advice from me. Oh, Ursula's spot was stolen by a sir. Okay, I'm leaving.
Hi, I'm back. There's now a cat who has taken over my lap, so I guess I can't ever leave again. Ote. Bones Wednesday NaNoWriMo? It's right now. It's right the heck now, as we speak. It is being done. We're actually going to an overnight event tonight. Oh, were you? Yeah. Oops. Is PK in the house? Oh, okay. I guess we're scrolling more. Okay. Is PK here? If not, I can look at nicest stuff.
Nice is definitely her.
Okay. Let's do nicest stuff. PK shows up. We'll look at her stuff. Okay. So. Let me grab. Lear, don't. No, stop. Don't chew my cords. You can't snuggle and chew on cords. That's rude. Lear. You can bite my phone. Yeah, you can bite that. Actually, don't. I changed my mind. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're biting it.
He did. Okay. Timer began. Okay. I made some character designs for the new podcast, The Adventure Zone Graduation. I have mixed feelings about them. I would love some help on how I can push their designs more, and also what kind of vibe do you get from them? I want to know if I captured their personalities. Okay, someone who... The only thing I know about The Adventure Zone is that it's a podcast, and the McElroys do it. Right? Is that the one? Okay. So I know nothing of these characters, so I will see if I can guess their personalities. Okay, so we have the pink boy. And he looks schemy, kind of. I'm gonna bounce, but thank you. I had a rough day and this made it better. Oh, I'm glad we could help. Bye, battery. Okay. So, this pink boy, he looks kind of crafty and silly. But also like a good person. He looks like he's kind at heart, even though he's trying to do like schemy things. And he maybe is a little bit snooty. But you know, it's probably his color palette, but he just seems like a nice guy. He seems like a stand-up guy. Sorry, the cat just jumped away. Yeah. So the middle blue fella seems like he seems a little nervous, like he's unsure of himself, like he's friendly and he's like gonna put himself out there and make friends, but he's a little nervous, a little shy. He looks like a fish boy. He's got little fish ears. And then our third fella looks kind of grumbly and sleepy and done with your BS. And is there to lift heavy things but be grumpy about it. And
I just want to side note. I feel like the middle guy. My original thought on him. I thought he was an AU version of like the inspector guy from your comic.
Oh my god, I can see it. It's the mustache, right?
Yeah, and just like the color.
I can see that. But yeah. Okay. So looking at their designs.
Or maybe like his fish cousin.
His fish cousin.
Some sort of science went down.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Continue your actual critiques.
Okay. So I'll start with the big guy. I like the colors and I like how earthy he feels. Like he feels like
Hey fairy.
Seems like a druid or like a, I don't know, what are the other earthy classes in D&D? I don't know. But he seems very like earthy and
the technical term is Earth Boy.
Earth Boy? Okay, yeah. He looks like an Earth Boy. And I think it has to do with the colors. I like the little like seeds or berries in his like leafy coat. I think that's really cute. And I like how he doesn't have shoes. He's just wearing little like foot wraps. He's in fact a druid. Okay. So he seems very druidy to me.
Earth Boy. Y'all are wrong.
Sorry, Earth Boy.
You clearly haven't read the dungeon manual.
Where like his clothing seems very natural and very plain. I love the like.
First guy looks like Aridin.
Yes. Oh my God. Strong Aridin vibes. It's the striped pants.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He looks like it's like a prince.
Prince of Nope.
Okay.
I'm sorry that I sent this back to 2010.
The description was close except for the first guy. He's a brat. Okay. Cool. Okay, so yeah, so I like
Weird stop.
I like his shape. The Earth Boy. I like his shapes. I like how blocky he is. Like it's really apparent in like his hands and his beard and hair, as well as like the shape of his nose and stuff. I think that's really strong. I like how it's paired with even the shape of like his cowl is very blocky. Lear, stop jumping around.
Oh, just because I gave Matica a treat, so he's like on a little reconnaissance mission to grab it. Sorry.
I also love his little hand beans. Like I like his little his little paw. It's very cute. I guess it's a big paw, but it's very cute. Overall very cohesive. Looking at the middle guy. I like the little fishy notes to him. Like I like the little fishtail on his bandana and his hair. I think that's really, really cute. I also like his shoes. They remind me kind of like lily pads. Like he's just got good little hints of fish throughout. I think his shape language feels a little muddled to me. I think you could push kind of maybe like the shape of his ears or the shape of his hair throughout it more, because like it feels apparent in his hair and his like nose and chin and his pants, but I find it clashes a little elsewhere. Like his shirt. Well, his shirt kind of works because it has the lines that match his ears, but like I feel like it could just be pushed a little bit more. And his costume just feels like it needs to be made to be a little bit more cohesive. I'll keep going because I haven't covered everything here. I'll set like a 2-minute timer.
Oh my god, the leans are strong.
So I feel like like his mustache could be more angular. Like you do have some of the roundness coming through, like with his shoes and the buttons and his eyes, but I feel like it just needs to be pushed a bit more to feel a bit more like intentional.
Push it off a cliff.
Push it off a cliff. Push all the things. Okay, and finally the first guy here. I really like his color scheme. He feels really cohesive. Oh, that's... No, sorry. I was going to say the fish guy doesn't feel cohesive color scheme-wise, but I think he does. The only thing that's a little off is his shoe color, because I can see, like, the hints of the red through his shirt and his bandana. Or it could be brightened up a little bit to maybe match his hair, but I think... I think his color scheme could also be pulled together a bit more. But the Earth Boy, his color scheme, it looks great. It's very balanced. And same with this first guy here. I like how he's all like gold and pinks. His design, I think his design also feels fairly cohesive. I like the straight lines to a lot of his costume, like it's mirrored in the little tassels on his shoulder thing, in the lines of his cape, and in like the pinstripe of his pants. And I can also see it in his like his sleeves and stuff there. And I do like how it's paired with more of that like the more round fluffy shapes, like his little scarfy thing and his sleeves and his hair is kind of puffy. But yeah, his shapes feel a little bit more defined. Okay, I guess I have to stop now. But I hope that helps. Yeah, I also like how there's circles kind of brought through. I think it could be brought more a little bit in his feet because he's got the circle on his like of his glasses and then his little buttons, and then maybe bring it more into his shoes possibly or his pants. But yeah. That's all I got. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Oh, there's a little sleepy Fido again.
He was leaning in hard for some pets.
He's leaning on you.
Oh, yeah. He's doing that little face he does when he leans back and looks up over his head.
Fido. Polka dot pants? No, but the stripes really work. It just needs, like, buttons or something.
Button.
You're good? Okay, cool.
No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Is PK in the house?
I don't think PK is in the house.
Okay. Okay, so Krell is here, / Noah, I believe. I saw them earlier. Are you still here, Noah? Hi, Manica. She's just coughing in the other room.
Aw, baby.
Poor girl. It's hard being a sick puppy. My people. Yep. Okay. So let's look at your submission. Okay. So the first two, okay, so this one and the one below it are from the comic I'm writing. It's called My Husband's a Werewolf, which is highly relatable. Bones is also a werewolf.
Hi.
The other one is from a concept design class where I had to redesign a character. Oh yeah, and I didn't think the blood was too graphic, so you're good. Consider we do horror comics where there's lots of blood, so don't worry, you're good. Okay, so looking at the composition first and foremost. So I was looking at these two. So overall, I really like I like your character designs. I like your shape work. Everything feels very like everything's got really good forms. You're very good at rendering everything to feel like 3D. I also like where you've chosen to like keep in details and where you've chosen where to like put in less detail. Like this particular like panel here, you get a really good sense of where they are just from what's being shown on the page. You don't even have very many details in here. It's just some grass and stairs and like the outline of a car, but you can still tell that like they're at the beach. And of course there's context clues because of like the shorts and the little what would you call them, inflatable ringy things they're carrying, that they're gonna go swim. But yeah, I love the werewolf too. He's really cute. He's a good awoo. I also like his human form because you can tell it's him just from like the coloring and the scar. I think that's really cute. I also like your typography. It's very easy to read. I especially like the beeps. That's really cute. The lettering is really cute and like expressive. Your characters are also really expressive. Like I love the little sleepy faces. And you can tell like the little werewolf guy's waking up, whereas his boy is still sleeping. Yeah, and even here they're very expressive. And I like the way you push the expressions and you're like not afraid of like making them look silly and cute. I really like it. You've also got like good contrast between everything. Like I like your use of using kind of dark colors to bring focus around to different objects. So for example, like you look at the ring he's holding and then the one he's holding in the next panel and then down to the werewolf and then the fish. And same here, just using like a good like value balance to kind of bring your eye through everything. I think compositionally there could be some slight tweaks to things to make the flow a little bit easier to understand. So for example, when I was looking at this page, I think you just need to move some of the elements very slightly. Like these are really good compositions. Like they've got good flow. I can tell generally where to look. They're really interesting panels and compositions. Like I said, I really like the amount of detail that you've put in. I think just some little things could be tweaked. For example, maybe bringing like the werewolf boy in a little bit. Sorry, let me find the correct thing. Like not being afraid to bring him in a little bit, maybe moving this guy off to the side a little bit more so there's a little bit less of kind of empty space here. You can just fill out the panel a little bit more to keep the eye on track to make sure that it's going where it needs to go. I think, and these are like really tiny minor things. The one I was a little confused by was the fish, and I think it's just because of the direction that the fish are facing, where it feels a little bit like it leads you off page, because it like it shoots you over this way is the thing, where I think you might need to change it up. It might be the placement of the panel where I think you either need to go like this or back up this way. and just by repositioning the fish a little bit. Because right now it reads... Sorry, I have to erase everything. Because right now it reads like this, which leads you like way off this way. Which does work for like, I guess it depends on the format that you're printing it in. The fish were the largest critique I got from a different critique. Yeah, they point off in the wrong direction, I guess. Whereas you probably want it to be leading down towards this corner, especially if you're doing it in print. If you're doing it on web, you can get away with like, I guess not get away. You can play more with the direction you're pointing people toward. But yeah, I think it's just the direction the fish are facing, honestly. If you just flip them the other way, then yeah, it would lead you around the page a little bit better instead of leading you off. I'll keep going because I'm talking about 2 pages right now. As for this one, again, your flow works really well. Like you've got the limbs pointing down to where you need to go. You follow up the beep. You look between their expressions up to the top little panel, and then you follow down through the text and looking at the little kitten and stuff. Yeah, I really like the flow on this second page. I think it's a lot more, it doesn't have the problem with the fish one where it sends you off. Yeah, I do like how your typography is very easy to read. Like, there's enough room that it, like, nothing's being like shoved together where you can't read like the text, and you're using very legible fonts. There's some little things where I think you can move elements around a little bit.
Poor
like
Matica.
You could bring the 4 a.m. down so that it's more centered within the phone screen. Like, I know that's not necessarily how like a phone screen looks, but just to kind of center it a little bit so it's not shoved off into the corner. I think, honestly, you could bring the line spacing in a little bit. Like, it feels a little bit too far apart. I think you could, like, bring it in, like, a little skosh. And I think you need to be careful about the padding around your lettering. So, for example, you've got a lot of height here, but no width here. And I think you need to bring it out a little bit just to give your words some room to breathe. And then this one looks good. I think if you just tightened up the line spacing a little bit, it would be fine. Whereas this bottom one needs a little bit more. A little more space up and down at the top and bottom. And that could be helped by just like moving this one up and bringing this up so that it can have more height and bottom diff. The second page is newer. Okay. No clue how to change the spacing. I use Clip Studio. Oh, there's a little it's hidden, which is weird. There's a little if you go into the settings on the text panel, you can change the line spacing. I don't know why it's hidden, because it's such like a useful thing that you need when you're making comics. Heck.
How dare they?
How dare they? I would show you, but I'm in Photoshop right now. Yeah. It took me forever to find it. It was so frustrating. I was like, I want to change my text, so I'd take it over to like Photoshop to do text, but then I found the thing. Ooh woo. Okay. So, let's move over to the third one. Let's get my timer set. Okay. So this one here. So what was it again? It was a character concept? Had to redesign a character. Okay.
Hack.
Heck.
Hacking hack.
hecking heck.
Frickin' heck. It's the heck time. Welcome to the heck parade.
I really like the composition. Like, I think the use of the snake throughout really helps bring your eye around it. And I like how, like, everything is very balanced. Like, the character, like, the pose is symmetrical, the blood he's standing in is symmetrical. Like, the composition would be very halved, except that you have the snake running through it, which brings a lot more, like, visual interest and helps lead the eye around things. I think that's a really nice detail. I think there is a contrast issue going on where the value of the wall and the snake, as well as like even like in here with the clothing, it all feels very like the values are all very similar. It feels a little mid-tone, where I think you need to heighten the contrast, which can be difficult when you're trying to like put something in shadow. It's very tempting to make everything super dark, but you need to add in some maybe highlights to the clothing or to the snake, just to maybe make it pop a little bit and stand out a little bit more against the background. Like, and it doesn't have to be like the whole thing. Yeah, more reflected light. Like, I like how you added it here to like the top of the snake and like on the head. Because yeah, you don't have to light up the whole snake or the whole piece of clothing, but yeah, some more highlights, some more light, maybe adding in some darker shadows behind them or on them, just to help make things pop a little bit more. I love the echoes with like the tongue and the blood. I think that's very cool. Helps bring it together a lot. Let me look a little bit closer. I think you also need to bring in the little gold highlight through things a bit more. Because you've got this very like balanced color going through it, where you've got the red and the white. Like, I know it's not exactly white, but you know, the robes can be shiny, so it should be okay. Okay. Right, but you've got this gold with the cross and the embroidery on here, and I think it could be added in a little bit more throughout, especially like because you've got the light coming in from this very like specific source. It would be cool to see maybe adding some more goldenness to the light, or adding in more golden details throughout the piece elsewhere. I don't know, it's up to you what you think would work for the tone and design. I also think you did a really good job with suggesting the forms, like especially right here with his coat. I think the contrast again needs to be turned up. Yeah, could be on the snake, adding in some gold. That could be a very cool thing to do with like if you drew in individual scales that had like a gold reflection or something. But again, you can decide if that'll work for it. But yeah, I think the contrast needs to be heightened here, but I really like how you've implied the form of him behind the frock, I guess. Is that what you call it? Cowl thing. Where like you can see the dip from where it hangs from its chest to his arm, instead of it having be just like a flat piece. I really like how you've modeled the forms there. Same with like the lighting on his face, and the lighting on his hands. And I think heightening that contrast will really make things pop more, because you've done such like a really nice job rendering everything. I just think heightening that contrast will really show off your skills a lot more and show off what a good job you did.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
You're so powerful, Ursula. Far more powerful than I.
Yes, it is true.
Oh, there's Levy Lear.
Oh, he's lieb. Aw. He's lieb.
Are you good for this one?
Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about it.
We got Clear Joey and PK left.
All right. So, are
Clear Joey or PK here at all?
you here, friends?
Either of you.
Will.
Hugh, Hugh, Hugh.
Hugh.
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Ha cha cha.
Clear Joey, come to me.
Woo. Heck. Doot.
Okay, just go with Clear Joey, I guess.
Okay. So. Here. Okay, I should set timers.
It's timer time.
Timer time. Okay. Here's my first piece I'm working on for an anthology of illustrations and comics for zine about Evangelion, especially Asuka-centric. Yeah. Okay. If you don't know much about the characters, Asuka is a spunky redhead with lots of anger and trauma. Shinji, her roommate, fellow mech pilot. In this piece, I was trying to convey their conflicting relationship while still aligning with the theme of the episode, trying to synchronize themselves to improve their fighting. Really appreciate feedback on the coloring. I went too saturated and do well with tones and contrast. Okay. I think I like the colors. I like the kind of play between like the red and the blue, where like and I do like the vibrancy of everything because like I could like it feels like a very happy scene going through this. I think. But yeah, but I like how like there's some blue on her outfit and like they've obviously have like the she's got the blue toothbrush and he's got the pink toothbrush, showing kind of like the synchronizing and stuff. I like the expressions a lot. It's very cute. Oh, and I also like the red in Shinji's hair to kind of highlight the synchronization between them. I think a bit more like pink and red could be pulled through Shinji's design because Asuka has lots of like little hints of blue here where I think Shinji could use a bit more pink to kind of highlight that. And the colors, like I like how saturated they are. I like how bright and fun they are. I think there's a contrast issue going on here though, where I think that everything is everything's very vibrant and like brought up to 11 here, but I think it's kind of messing with the shadows where they're not as
Hi everyone.
where they're not as dark as they could be, which could help a lot with like discerning things. So like once I find the right layer, like bringing in more maybe dark some darker colors will really help kind of show off the forms. A few places it especially gets kind of lost is within Asuka's hair, where like there's so many nice little details. Like I love all the little curls and stuff, but they get kind of lost because the values are a little similar. Because like they have good contrast between like the little dark bodysuits they're wearing versus their t-shirts and their skin. But I think within each portion, like each part, there needs to be more shadow and more highlight. And I think it can really help balance out the vibrancy by adding in highlights, which are usually a lot more desaturated. And I think that'll help with any value or contrast issues. So like, yeah, I don't exactly know where you put everything, but adding in some highlights will really help make things pop more, so it's not all blending together. And same with bringing in darker shadows and stuff.
You're so powerful, Gray. I have to boost her along.
Oh,
She's doing so well.
Really appreciate feedback on coloring. Too saturated. The texture. I think the only texture issue is that it seems to be a lot of the same textures throughout. Like I noticed there's an interesting texture with their little bodysuit things where you've got like a cool reflection look to them, like the kind of shiny, which I like. And you've got a nice shine on Shinji's hair. I think it gets lost a little on Asuka's hair because some of the musical notes kind of pull away from it. A lot of like the detail and shine in her hair, but I like the texture that you've gone for with Shinji's. Yeah, where I think you could maybe push the textures a little bit more. I also find the overlays a little distracting, like the overlay of the musical notes. I vaguely remember this episode where like there's music playing and they're dancing together. But I think they could be used a little bit more sparingly. It feels like it's kind of cluttering up the piece a little bit. And same with these lines. Like it feel like I know they're in the mirror, whereas like the camera's like here and you're seeing the cups and then you're seeing their reflection in the mirror. But it feels a little, I think the lines just need to be like, and the musical notes need to be like toned down a little bit so that it's less distracting from the rest of the piece.
Yeah.
Like another way to show like a mirror shine would maybe be doing like just one section of it to be kind of shiny, or maybe only having like the mirror reflection around the edges, or just even reducing the amount of lines would really help.
Yeah. What's the next one?
The next one, the second piece for the same zine, Asuka on the left and Rei on the right, are relaxing under the trees. I'm trying to figure out how to make the leaves blend. Less with the characters. So I think pardon me.
Kennel cough. Are you a
No,
dog?
it's just talking for an hour and a half.
Have some tea.
Oh, I think I'm out of tea.
Oh no.
Oh no. I need a hot chocolate stat.
Ivy.
IV drip. Okay. So, oh right, I need another timer. Okay, so I was looking at this one earlier, and I think the issue that you're running into with the leaves blending in with the characters is that because it looks like you used leaf textures on top of them for shadows, but the shadows are the exact same size as the actual leaves around them. So a really good way to show overlap and to show like foreground versus background and different like layers of depth within a piece is the closer something is to the camera, the darker and bigger it is, whereas things as they go into the distance they get lighter and smaller. So I think what you need to do is you need to make the leaves in the foreground a lot larger. Maybe you can have just maybe like some specific branches or something, or just like some large leaf shapes kind of covering things. But it will really help kind of differentiate what's over top of the characters. You should also, I think, not should, you could also reduce the transparency of the leaves that are over top of them, have them be more opaque, just so that it doesn't look like all of your it gets rid of that illusion that everything's kind of melded together. And I think it's an issue with size. I think it might be an issue with opacity as well, where I think you need to go back over some of these leaf shapes and really make sure that they're more defined. And I think it will also help to tone down some of the textures on top of the characters. It distracts away from the forms of the characters to have these really busy textures over top of them, where I think, again, it's less a problem with Ray. You've got some pretty good balance of like shadows and highlights on Ray, but on Asuka, I feel like you need to darken the shadows in her hair, just because it's with the textures over top, it's making her feel very flat. And you're losing some of that form that she has, because you have like these really nice like lines going through her hair, showing off like how like wild it is. And I like the color choices too, but I think you need to bring in some more darker shadows, and I'd also recommend bringing in some coolness that you have with Ray's hair and their dresses that they're wearing, just because it feels a little unbalanced, though it might be helped if you bring in some like darker shadows, but just bringing in just something to balance it out and make Asuka feel a little bit less flat would really help kind of solidify her more and make her blend in less with the background and the trees and branches, etc. So like, let's see, if I bring in some coolness, like maybe some purpley. It's a bit too blue. But even just, that might be a bit too much. You might want to keep it a bit more red. But, you know, just bringing in a bit more of a through line through the colors. At least on Asuka, because I feel like there's a good balance of the blues on Ray, as well as like some more kind of orangey tones. But yeah, I think that could really help with the texture thing. So bringing more stuff into the foreground, making it feel more solid, and maybe kind of reining in some of like the smaller leaf textures and shadows. I think it would also help to define the stuff beyond them, because it feels like the things around the characters feel a bit formless. Like, I can tell here, like over Ray, it feels like there's a bush here. But with Asuka, it feels like it's blending in a lot with her, and it's hard to tell, like, where the bush begins, or the leaves or whatever. And then it's really hard to tell, like, what's beyond them, because the textures are so blended in with the rest of the tree. It might help to maybe lighten the background and maybe kind of blur out some of these textures, or create a different texture just to show a different plane. And yeah, and then boosting the contrast will really help. And then maybe lowering some of the textures on the characters to make sure they stand out as well. Yeah, and I think it also helped to pay attention to the lighting, and understanding kind of where the scenery is around them.
Chocolate.
You made me hot chocolate?
It's piping hot.
Oh.
It's freshly boiled.
Oh, thank you.
Scoot, I can't sit here. Take half the spot.
Fade.
You're fucking... Sorry. You're flipping 8 pounds. You can't take up my entire spot.
Gosh, Fado.
Okay, back. Sorry.
But I think it's also important to understand the light situation that you've set up, because you have this big, strong light hitting like the sides of their heads here. So like you need to understand kind of where the leaves are around them to understand how they will block out the light and then cast a shadow on them. And I think that'll really help you out as well.
Hello, is anyone else there?
Hello.
I miss your voices. Sorry.
So I think that's all I got. Move on to the next one.
Got 2 more pieces, guys.
Oof.
So happy so many people sign up.
I know.
But man, it is a lot of talking
Heck.
for Ursula.
Okay. Start. Okay. Lastly, a completely unrelated aligned piece of a bubbly vampire. I'm wondering if the anatomy is off, as well as I think it is, as well as anyways, I can make the design more interesting. Okay. So, first of all, she's really cute.
10 out of 10. I like it.
10 out of 10. Super cute. I like it. Okay. She reminds me a lot of like the daughter from Beetlejuice.
Lydia.
Lydia, that's it. I think it's just the cute gothy look. Yeah, anatomy wise, I think the upper body feels a little bit too, it feels large compared to the lower body, if anything. Maybe just the legs, even the hips feel like pretty okay balanced with the upper half. But I think the legs, at least like the lower legs feel a little bit like stunted. Like they just feel like a bit too short and wibbly wobbly. Whereas the rest of her feels a lot more structured. And I think part of that too is her feet, where this foot in particular feels like it's at a strange angle for the position of her knee. So if I'm following this, I'll use a brighter color. If I'm following this, it's like here's the front of her leg, and then it bends, and then but here's still the front of her leg, and then suddenly her foot goes off like that. Whereas physically, if her leg is facing this way, her foot would go like this. Like it could turn a little bit, but not to that degree. So that's something to watch out for. Like even if she is like floating, she's a vampire, then just pay attention to where the feet are facing, as well as the position of the knee, because that'll tell you which way the feet can face. But yeah, and her legs just feel a little bit small compared to, say, her arms and her upper body. Her expression is really cute. I like the frilliness to her hair as well as her clothing. Like it all has this like little fluffy feeling to it, like the little frills on her collar and on her sleeves, as well as like her pleated skirt and the little bits on her stockings. I think it all fits really well together, and it's very cute.
Dogs are also cute.
Dogs are also cute.
I have one on my feet.
He's very cute.
Thank you.
I like I think you've got a pretty good balance between like the
Everyone's just quiet listening to Teacher Gray.
woo. I like the balance between like the intricacy of the lace on her sleeves, as well as like a lot of the detail in her hair and on her necklace and stuff, compared to just like the black of the top and the skirt. I think that is a good balance, because I think if you had like a lot of little tiny details within the bodice and the skirt, it would be a bit too much and a bit overwhelming. But I do like the balance between just like the solid black and then the lacing. I love her mouth. She's got like a little uwu face.
Ooh.
Little 3 face. I think you could play around a little bit with bringing some of the lace work into her legs more. That could be making her stockings like the same lacy pattern, or adding some more frills here and there. I'm not sure what you think would work best for her. You could also put like another layer to the skirt with lace, something like that, just to make the top and the bottom match a little bit more and mirror each other. Yeah, because you still need to find that balance between like you don't want too much lace because then it's very visually busy, but you also don't want to stay away from it entirely, because I think it would balance it out if you had it elsewhere in the design.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely looks like a bubbly character. I can tell that from her expression, and her fashion choices seem very like cutesy. Yeah, I think that just the same intricacy that's like on her upper half, like the necklaces and the lace, really needs to be brought through to the legs a little bit more. So
Yeah. Do you want to move to your last piece?
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I've got like 1 minute left on the timer.
There we go. Let's talk
Yeah.
about PK.
PK. So if Clear Joy, if you're here.
It's been a long day. It's a long stream. They always get a little quiet at the end. I find.
True. Everyone's just chilling.
Everyone's like,
Straight chilling.
there's too much going on. Too much advice. Head explode.
Okay. So PK, I feel bad critiquing this because you submitted this as like the giveaway like gift art to us, which is really sweet. And I'm like, I don't want to pick it apart. It's like a gift for us. It's like a fan art that you didn't have to do.
I think they mostly wanted like composition.
Yeah.
Stuff. What's that? And color.
Yes.
Composition and color.
And killer. Okay. So.
It's pork god. Yes.
Yes. Doop, 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 doop. Okay,
Doop,
so
doop, 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 said the prophet.
it's me. Okay.
Said the prophet.
Okay, so color-wise, I like the contrast levels. I think they work really well. The hamster ghost girl, she has a very good silhouette. I like.
Sorry, I forgot we should do a gingerbread house stream.
Oh my god, yes.
Or maybe we should just do a video.
We could do that. A little gingerbread video.
Yeah, because we
Okay.
have the thing.
Oh,
Anyways.
yeah. Anyways, so, okay. We are going. Okay, sorry. Go collect my thoughts. Okay, so I like her silhouette. I like her pose and everything. She's got good contrast levels between like the dress and the hat and the hair, etc. Same as with the hamster boy. There's good contrast between like the different portions of him as well as like the background around him. I find the there could be more of a color through line, because it is a little bit, because there is the red on the bandana for the hamster, which kind of brings like the green and the red together. But I think the other elements, so like the hamster cage and the shelf, could use a bit more red to kind of like bring them together, because like the background has this nice like the pale green, which I think works really well with the red and makes sure that the red pops. But I think the foreground elements could have a bit more red throughout them, just to bring that through line, so it feels a little less like slashed diagonally. compositionally, I think the text could be accounted for more. It feels like it's just been kind of shoved up to the top. Whereas there's lots of blank space kind of down near the bottom that could be used to put the text in. Whereas it feels kind of a little kind of shoved off to the side, like it wasn't thought, like it wasn't planned into it initially. And I think you need like a little bit more planning with your text so it doesn't get shoved off to the corner. Because typography, like if you're going to include it in a piece, is like a very important part of it and should be kind of incorporated into the piece from the get-go and not left to the last second. And integrated with the design, because you can do some really cool stuff by integrating typography into illustration. The only other thing that stands out to me is the line pattern in the background, as well as on the hamster cage. I find it creates a weird. It creates another depth illusion where it makes everything feel very flattened, because it makes the background of this foreground object blend in with the background of like the actual background of the piece. So it makes it feel like there's zero space between this foreground object and the background. And I think that could be fixed by, say, changing the direction of the shine on the hamster cage, or maybe reducing it a little bit, as well as maybe reducing some of the lines in the background, just to help get rid of that illusion that there's no space between them. But overall, very cute. Good contrast, like I said. I love the expressions. They're very cute.
I forgot about the comic.
Same. I was like, what? Oh my god, I forgot that's a thing we made.
It was just one fever dream.
It was a nightmare. But yeah.
Is that all?
That's it.
That's all? Did we survive this?
Wait, let me double check. Yes, that is
Oh my god, we did it. Another month done.
Heck.
I'm not sure what day we'll do it on next month. But
Right, because all the holidays will be happening.
I probably have to look at it.
Yeah, let's look at this calendar here.
Because we'll be gone till the 29th. We'll be gone on the 29th. So, So it'll probably be like the solstice weekend.
So the 21st?
21st, 22nd.
Okay.
Or it'll just be in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you, our patrons.
Yep.
See what you want to do with it, just so that we can work around the holidays.
Yep.
I'm sure everyone will be on.
We'll do our little beta test next week and probably bring it back in January if it does well.
Yes. So
I'd like to do it as like the first week or something, because I accidentally did not do the last week of November for this. But I'm going to be busy at the end of November with NaNoWriMo, and I need to get back to that. So please let us leave.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for submitting things, our lovely patrons.
I hope you all had a lovely nap at the end there.
Yes. If you would like to see your pieces critiqued next month, make sure to sign up for Patreon. And
wow.
And we can critique your stuff.
I kid. I love you all.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for coming. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.